As a professional meditation teacher, one of the questions that people ask me the most is, how do you know if you're actually meditating correctly? And it's a very good question, because it's not like you're just baking a cake. You can't just, taste it and see if it's any good. The effects of meditation are often subtle and not immediate. Sure, you might feel a little bit more peaceful, but the long-term effects of meditation are not so obvious. So how do you know if you're meditating correctly and getting the most out of the time that you're investing into the practice? Well, that's what I'm going to cover in this episode. If you love helpful meditation content, then please do remember to subscribe. So how do you know if your meditation is working and if you're doing it correctly? Well, the truth is, there isn't just one sign. You might assume, for example, that you should feel calmer after a meditation session. But not all forms of meditation are designed to be calming. For example, Buddhist koans, which are riddle type questions that are designed to provoke the mind into curiosity and exploration, very far from being calm. Those have absolutely nothing to do with calmness. So even that idea that you'll know your meditation is working if you're calmer, well, no, that simply is not true. And it's also not true with other meditation techniques such as Merkaba and Kundalini. So if calmness isn't the answer, how do you know if your meditation is working? Well, the only person who can answer that is you. Ask yourself whether your existing meditation practice is helping you with whatever goal you deem to be important. Because ultimately, the only thing that matters with your meditation practice is that it is helping you in the way that you determine to be of value. So that being said, the first point that I want to make is that you need to ditch the stereotypes of meditation. Dust off all that fluff. Just because an app made by a software developer, many of whom don't actually know anything about meditation, tells you that you should feel calm and less stressed after meditating, nope, not always the case. The same is true for other supposedly universal goals of meditation. For instance, Buddhists meditate in order to cultivate compassion, and you might have heard that you should be more compassionate after meditating. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a very compassionate person and I strongly believe in compassion, but that doesn't mean that you have to. Your meditation practice doesn't have to align with somebody else's moral compass. You can make it your own. So the first thing that I want to say, and the first way to make your meditation more effective and to do it more properly, is to determine what it is that matters to you from your meditation practice, what it is that you're trying to get out of it. Once you're able to say, well, this is what I want from my meditation practice, you'll be far more motivated and far more likely to take it seriously. And I want to give you an example. I use my meditation practice to make the most of my mind and to heal my mind because I'm a survivor of PTSD and BPD. So that is my goal. And knowing that that is my goal from meditation motivates me every single time to make sure that I actually put the time into meditating properly. But maybe you've got another goal. Maybe you've got a fitness or workplace goal. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. It only matters to you. Just define it and decide what it is that you want to get from meditation. Not what anybody else tells you that you should get. Not what aligns with somebody else's moral compass. What you, as an individual with free will, what you want to get from meditation. What is that? In fact, do me a favor and drop it in a comment below, because I would love to know what all of you guys, what your number one motivation is, what the number one thing is that you want to get out of meditation. And once you can say that, it'll motivate you to be more consistent and more committed to your practice. Next, And this should probably go without saying, but make sure you know what kind of meditation technique you're going to do before you get on your cushion or on your zabuton. Of course, there are very many different forms of meditation. In fact, in my book, Your Best Meditation by Paul Harrison, available on Amazon, I cover all of the most popular forms of meditation, from Buddhism, Taoism, esoteric traditions, modern, and so on. The point is, these different practices have different principles and different ways of doing the exercises. So it's very important that you set in stone exactly what type of meditation it is that you are going to do in any given meditation session before you start doing it. And also have in front of you the instructions, so that if you have to open your eyes for just a moment to take a look, to remind yourself of what you're supposed to be doing, which might not be necessary if you're doing something like mindful breathing, but if you're doing a more advanced technique such as Merkaba activation, then you probably will want to have it written down. Take a look at my guided Merkaba meditation and you'll see what I mean. Now, we're discussing how to know if you're meditating correctly, and let me tell you the number one way in which people meditate incorrectly. The number one thing that people hate about, as a meditation teacher, every time I mention this word, people dislike it. Posture. Posture. I don't know why so many people are averse to posture, but I promise you, as a meditation teacher, you just mention the word posture and people are like, oh, I suppose it takes us back to school when we were told to sit up. But if you take a moment to sit or stand properly with good posture, it will immediately influence a more positive state of mind and help you to focus. There's significant neuroscience that shows that. So just take just a moment to sit with good posture. There, I said it. Apologies. To take your posture further, you can also incorporate mudras or hand positions, which they use acupressure points in the hands to activate certain states of mind. For instance, Jhana Mudra is going to help you to feel inner peace and focus. Entirely optional, but those will help you to get into the proper state of mind when you meditate. As I said, that's optional. What is not optional, though, is a non-judgmental mindset. Okay, so I've mentioned in this video, there's not a lot of stuff that different meditation techniques agree on, but one of the almost, in fact, this isn't completely universal, but one of the most universally agreed on aspects of meditation is that you should have a non-judgmental, analytical mind. Now, the type of mind that you have going into meditation, I liken it to being like a scientist in a lab. It's that non-judgmental, you're just completely calm, you're simply observing what is with no judgment. You think as scientists in a lab, they're just measuring things. They're not getting emotionally involved with things, they're just measuring it with neutrality. So whatever you do in meditation, do it with neutrality, do it with detachment and with non-judgment. Now, I've covered a lot of points in this. And you might think, well, with all of this, I can meditate perfectly. You can't. You can't. I'm sorry. This is a big deal. Don't get hung up on the idea of perfect or imperfect. I've had so many students come to me and say, oh, they once had a perfect meditation session. And then they'll proceed to explain that they basically went to a state where, they were in profound bliss. And then since then, they considered that to be the perfect meditation that ever happened. And they've tried to recreate it time and time and time again. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't ever try to recreate a meditation that you had previously. Always just make a session what it is. And if you have a meditation session where you're not as peaceful, maybe you even cry, or maybe something, deep and emotional happens, take it for what it is. Every different meditation is its own unique thing. Don't go chasing the butterflies of what used to be in those moments of bliss when you felt profoundly peaceful. Embrace every individual unique meditation session for what it is. Now, there are some signs in which, some signs that will help you to at least get the sort of notion that you are meditating correctly. Some of the things that you want to look out for in your practice: you're doing it more consistently and you want to meditate. You're feeling, yes, a little bit more peaceful. You're feeling, yes, a little bit more aware. But you're non-judgmental of your practice and you're consistent. You're non-reactive. These types of things are what can give you an idea that, yes, your meditation practice is working and you are progressing. But the ultimate point that I want to make with this video is your idea of progress, your idea of whether your meditation is succeeding. The only person in God's green earth who can tell you that is you. Don't get lost in what other people tell you your meditation should be. Your journey to healing, to peace, is unique and it's beautiful. So enjoy it, and you be the judge of your own meditation. And that is what I want to say to you today. You do you, and you determine whether your meditation practice is succeeding. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. Leave me any questions that you have in a comment. Please remember to like and subscribe. I truly appreciate everything. Obviously, I'm trying to grow my channel. Wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't trying to grow my channel, would I? So if you subscribe, then I'll really appreciate that. I'm going to leave you some really helpful resources in the description and in the comments. Check them out. And that's it. That's a wrap. I'll see you next time.